veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
Hey there, welcome back. We're with Seeking Brother Husband, Season 1, the premiere season, and Episode 5. Parents just don't understand, do they?
They sure don't sometimes.
No, they don't. No, they don't. How have you been, Mocha? I know this
I'm
is a important day for you.
yeah, I'm good today. I'm
Yeah.
good
You
today.
you
Yeah.
yeah, you okay. Well, I just wanted to check in on you. That's very important to do that on an important day like today. Yeah. So what's the weather like there where you're at? It's about 60. Well, now it dropped down. Okay, I'm looking over here at my it's 56 degrees here in Michigan. What about where you are?
It's 51 here. I looked on my phone. Now it was pouring down rain this morning. I mean, it
R-
was coming down.
Cats and dogs,
Cats,
basically.
cats, dogs, turkeys, chickens, the whole barnyard, and everybody else was coming down. And
Roosters and
then
everything.
yes, and then around 3 o'clock or so, the sun came out.
I bet
That-
it did. I bet
And
it
it
made
and it
did,
probably was hot out. It looked like the rain kind of dried up, but that's weather in Connecticut.
oh, okay.
That's Connecticut.
Did it leave a rainbow? Were you able to catch a rainbow after all that cats and dog raining that it was doing?
You know what? I didn't go out and look because where I live
Oh,
at,
okay.
it's a lot of trees, so I can't
Oh,
really see.
yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, that's Connecticut for you though. But you know what though? Another part of Connecticut, they may have gotten snow or something. That's how it
Oh,
is here. You never
oh,
know.
please don't mention that dirty S word. I don't even want to hear that word until like maybe November or so in here in Michigan. I don't even want to hear the word at all for the rest of till November. Okay. That's a dirty, nasty word. Well, what did you think, just briefly, what did you think of this episode? I thought this one was kind of packed with a lot of interesting things going on.
There was a lot of stuff, and the thing
Hmm.
is that the thing cemented for me, I really don't like what's her name, Elisa. I
Elisa,
really
yeah, her,
I
that's the
really
one that the mother-in-law was there to visit
yeah,
them, right? Yeah.
I really don't like her.
Elisa
I,
and
yeah.
Mike.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just really
yeah.
don't like her.
I
The other
peeped that. I
yeah,
peeped that early on. I wasn't gonna like her. She's too entitled. She's
yeah,
too
yeah.
entitled.
I was hoping there would be something redeeming about her, but no, no, mm-mm,
Right.
no.
Not much redeeming about her.
Mm-mm.
But there are some other of the characters that I feel like are very likable.
Oh
Kenya,
yeah.
her guys, Carl and
Hmm.
Tiger,
Yes.
Shara, I like, what's the name of her husband? I
Her
can't think of.
husband is Patrick.
Patrick, yeah.
Patrick is her husband. Yeah, I love her.
I didn't care for Noble, but then this
Hmm.
new guy coming in sweeping her off her feet,
Yeah,
Valentino. He's interesting and good looking
he is.
too.
Yeah, I like
Very good looking.
Valentino. Hmm.
So we'll get started. So we know we opened up as we open up in this episode, Alyssa and her husband Michael were just talking about and her mother-in-law, so his mother, who was very much against this polyamorous lifestyle, multiple marriages and whatever. I was talking to her son. We kind of pick up where we left off on the cliffhanger from last week, that she was saying that her son, she doesn't believe would be in any kind of relationship like this, a non-traditional relationship, if it had not been for Alyssa, his wife, cheating on him.
Hmm.
And they left that up in the air. So that was interesting. They come back, and now the husband, he brings up into the conversation, he brings up kids. Well, we all know, if you watch the first episode, that Alyssa does not want children.
See, I didn't remember that when he
Oh,
said
I
it.
do. I
I didn't
do. Yeah.
remember that
She
part.
doesn't she didn't want kids. It's a I don't know if you've been paying attention to trends. So the younger generation, and the government and the country has been lamenting that these younger kids, like the millennial generation, they're not having
Mhm.
children. They
No,
don't want children. They
no,
don't want.
they're
They
not
want to
having
travel
children.
and
They're
and
having
jet set around.
puppies.
We're talking at the same time. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. They're not having kids. They're having puppies.
Yep, that and also people are jet setters now. Like jet
Hmm.
setting when I was a child, jet setting was left only for the very rich. But now because the cost of travel has come down tremendously, a middle class person in America that has a good income and doesn't have a bunch of kids can now jet set to Dubai, to Thailand, to Bora Bora Island. They can go anywhere they want to go, but if you don't have kids, because like I always say, like once you make the decision, or you don't, but you end up having children, that's $1 million, right? Over there.
Yeah,
Whatever you got, your clothes, food, college, all of these things, they cost money.
right.
You know,
Yep, yep, you're totally right.
so that's yeah. She didn't know. She said that in the first episode. She did not want children, but I suspect that's kind of something she's been putting over on her husband because everything to me is just like on Married at First Sight with the couple. Who is that? That's Nicole and her guy Chris, but
Hmm.
it's reversed. Like Chris seems to get a lot of things his way. You
Hmm.
know, they,
Yeah.
just like it's all on her. But anyway, hope you guys out there are doing great. Go ahead and like the video, please. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. We have Mocha Mima with us today. Mocha Mima, your name of your channel is the same, right?
Yep. It's my name, Mocha Mima.
You okay? Let me see if I can get that in the comments section. I think our moderators went on a vacation. But I understand though too, because I had this video. Oh, I'm misspelling your name. I had this video on private, so they probably didn't see it, and I didn't
Oh,
change it
okay.
till late.
Well,
Okay. So anyway, so what did you think about the conversation they had with his mother before we move on?
um, I mean, his mother's gonna support him no matter what. She doesn't
Mm-hmm.
like it, but that's her son. She loves her son,
Right.
so she's gonna go along with it. She's hoping that the whole thing with the kids will change, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
she's
Yeah.
gonna go along with what her son wants, whatever makes her son happy.
Whatever makes him happy, right?
Yeah.
So then we move on to the next scene, and at the home store of it all, because I don't know what the name of that store was, but it was like like a private home store that they had
Hmm.
cleared out just so they could have the cameras and not have all the people milling around. So maybe it was
Right.
after hours or before hours. Kenya and her husband Carl, of her husband of 26 years, Carl, is shopping for Tiger, the younger husband's new bedroom. And it was so funny when I was listening to them talk. I said, "Wait a minute, did they adopt a kid? They're
I
shopping for
know.
the." I'm like, and they kept saying it like his room, his room, his room, and I'm like, are they talking about a little kid? Like what? And then I realized they were talking about Carl, like this grown man, this grown arse man. They're talking about him.
Are you still there, Aubrey?
Hello,
Oh, yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, wait a
Okay.
minute. Hold
You went
on.
you went out for a minute.
Hold on, dear. Hold on for a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna check the internet. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I see the router. I see the. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes, I hear
the
you.
bars had went down very low. So if that happens again, let me know. But anyway, but the saleswoman, what was cute was the saleswoman. She asked them about who they were shopping for, and of course they had to tell her, "Well, we're shopping for my other younger husband." And of course her eyebrows went up. And the sales lady was cute. She was a middle-aged woman. And basically, she was telling in the confessional cam, she said she didn't know whether she should be horrified or in awe of Kenya.
Yeah, I like the sales lady. She was
Hmm.
she was nice. She wasn't judgmental. She was cute.
No, she wasn't. Like, I don't know. They had to tell these people what was going on and that they were coming in this store because I mean, it was just too much. It was just too much. I was like, oh my God. But she had a good sense of humor about, like you said, she was not judgmental. And then I thought it was also cute. The sales lady said in her confessional, she says, well, I've got my 2 dogs and that's enough for me because 2 men is too much work.
Hmm.
I had to agree with her on that one right there. Uh,
Yes.
but then the conversation, so that levity went away, and then it turned to Kenya and Carl got serious now to talk about how Carl was telling Kenya that Tiger, the younger husband, he really was not feeling good about move to the new room, and then that she wouldn't do a commitment or marriage ceremony. So they got to discussing that. What was your take on that scene?
That I like Carl, and I like that he's able to see from both sides, and he's able to really talk to her about it. What caught me was when she said that, she says Tiger doesn't give her the affection she needs.
Ooh, yeah, so
When
I
she
heard
said
that.
that, yeah, and I'm like, Kenya, what? I'm like, what is? I just
Well, you
sometimes
got what she was saying. She was
I
talking about hot and heavy time, though. Did you catch that?
yeah,
That's what
yep,
she
I
meant.
got that, but
Okay.
I'm like, what?
What?
You
What
got
do you?
two. I'm just like I love her. I really like her. I
I do
really do.
too.
I really
Hmm.
like her. But she just puzzles me often, and I'm just I start looking at her like sometimes I have to rewind it back and look back. It's like, Kenya, what are you talking about? What are you? But
Well, I mean,
it's
you're not saying what it is exactly
it's
you're
just I'm
thinking, but
like, Kenya,
do you
like,
think that she cannot possibly have the libido as high as she apparently seems to have it?
well, see,
What are
it's
you saying?
well, to me, it's like, okay, okay, you can have the libido, but it's
Okay,
like,
let's talk about this.
how many men are you gonna have?
As many as she
You can't,
wants.
but which she's allowed to have that, but it's like, eh, I'm
What
like
is it?
wondering where the love and the
Uh-huh.
like okay, so she has
Come on, Mocha.
I know
Use your words. Use your
I'm
words,
trying
girl.
to.
Okay.
She has Carl. She has
Oh,
Tiger.
Carl is fine too. I
Yes,
take
Carl
him
is fine.
with a.
Did you
I
see that
listen.
picture?
Listen. Wait a minute. Hold up, Mocha.
Mhm.
I take him with a biscuit and just sop them all up.
Did you see the younger picture of them when they were
I
younger?
did. I
Oh
did.
my
I think
God,
he
they
was
both
actually.
were just beautiful people.
Yeah,
Really
but listen, I
attractive.
think Carl is actually much finer now than he ever was
Yes,
when he was young. I think men, I don't know, maybe it's me. I've always liked older men. He is gorgeous, and I would sop him up with a biscuit, no problem.
yes.
No
Carl
problem.
is like a good
And,
old French wine, child.
right.
Good old French wine. Mm.
And gets finer with time. And and
Mhm.
and the other one, Tiger, he's not bad either. All of her men, the one thing about them, their faces and their complexions are different, hairstyles are different, but the one thing that's very similar, they all have really fine arse bodies, like their bodies
Mhm.
and their posture, the long legs, the nice tight behind cheeks and everything. Like, yeah, I see you, girl. You're doing that.
And you can even tell from just seeing them on the screen. You can tell from we know from other shows the type of people you see who someone is through the TV screen.
Well, what I
You
see,
know what
I'm
I
not gonna
mean?
say that anymore after my mishap with
Oh,
Blue from Ready to Love. But what I will say
but
that I
but
do see, hold on, Mocha. You gotta wait sometimes. You can't always run over me.
okay,
What
sorry.
what I will say that I do see between these couples is that there is chemistry coming out the yin
Mm,
yang. The Kenya is very sensual. She is a woman
mm,
who is very feminine. She knows the power of her femininity, and it's not fake. It's not fake at all. It's real. And the men, you can see the men around her simply adore her. This is what I
mm.
see. Now go ahead.
What I was gonna say was just because a person makes wrong decisions doesn't mean they're bad. They can still be a nice person. They just make wrong decisions.
Yes. Yeah,
So.
I was trying to explain that in chat, and I got kind of stomped on by one of the members who I know she didn't really mean it, but like I didn't do a good explanation when I was trying to explain how I felt about the situation with Blue, but I'm going to leave
Mhm,
that alone because that's his
mhm.
situation. It's not my
Right.
situation. I
Mhm.
still stand by my feeling toward him and what I saw. as we saw the behavior on screen, but I don't know
Right.
him personally, right?
Right. Correct.
Yep. So, but yeah, but that there's a lot of chemistry there, but
Mhm.
I don't know, what's really what, but or if this guy is even going to work out. This new guy, or which is the
Right.
new old guy, David, right?
Mhm.
That they're
Yeah.
trying to bring into the Kenya Carl Tiger situation.
Right.
So we'll move forward with the scenes. Um so they talked about that Tiger really wants to have the ceremony. Oh, and this last part.
Mhm.
Carl is really clearly Kenya's voice of reasoning. And so I asked the question, will Kenya accept his reasoning? We're gonna find out a little bit later on. We'll get to
Mhm.
that in a minute. But anyway, we'll move over back to Kim.
Mhm.
Kim is chatting with her brother, and she needs emotional support because apparently she had just reached out to her parents, and we get this whole long thing. You guys don't have to listen to it because we listened to it for you and watched it for you. But basically, long story short, she's had a very strong Christian, conservative Christian upbringing. And now she's decided to tell her parents this lifestyle that she's living that's polyamorous, and that multiple men will share her love and share her bed within this relationship. And her parents are mortified. They are simply mortified. They don't agree with this, and so she's talking to her brother, and he's just trying to keep her calm and say, it's okay. The family may come around. We'll see what happens. And it's just difficult that some families will not accept this lifestyle. So that's part of what we get from that. What did you have any takeaways on that, or did we want to push on?
Yeah, that I had the same takeaway. She really has to be patient. Her parents don't have to accept her lifestyle, and
No.
that's the bottom line. They don't have to, and she's gonna have to eventually get okay with it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the bottom line.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
And so then we move on to the next scene. Shara, beautiful Shara, is also an African American lady, has been talking to this guy, Valentino, that she met online, who's a younger African, very handsome African American gentleman. And, because her plans were she wanted to have a child. Of course, her husband of many, many years has already had children and no longer wants to have children and may not be able to either. So they're looking outside of the marriage for another man to come in to help satisfy Shara's physical needs and urges, and emotional needs and urges and things, and then also to create a baby with them. So Shara is very attired in this camouflage little outfit, and of course she's got a gorgeous body, so she looks
Hmm.
fabulous. And Valentino, of course, like I said, very tall, very handsome. But they're hiking in the woods of Georgia. And what I thought was really beautiful was when they got to the top, there was this whole little small waterfall that was so, so charming. Did you like that?
Oh yeah, that was beautiful. That
Yeah.
and you could tell he really liked it.
He did. He did. And so when they get to the waterfall, they begin to have their conversation. I thought it was funny that Valentino said, everyone has baggage, but of course, Shara's baggage is a whole nother relationship with her husband.
Hmm.
And that's
Right.
her baggage. And what did you make of their conversation and how they seem to be getting on?
I like them together.
Hmm.
And I think I could see the difference between him and Noble, where he's more of an adult than Noble is. And
Yes,
you know what I mean? And the way he listens to her and the way he talks to her, I really I like him.
I do too.
I really like him. And
He's
he's he's willing to, like with the baby thing, he said maybe not tomorrow, but maybe next week. You never know, you never know. Because he's willing to see where this goes with the two of them. And that
right.
you know.
Exactly. Yeah. He seems more mature.
Hmm.
Also, you know what a thing I noticed about him too that I think that she's picking up on if she didn't exactly say it. Valentino doesn't appear to be as selfish as Noble. Noble
Mm.
seemed to really have been there for his own mannish desires and needs, physically, right?
Yes.
He didn't really appear to be there for any other reason. He liked that she was married because as a man, that means he don't really have to court or woo her. All he has to do is have hot and heavy time with her.
Hmm.
So but Valentino seems to be more involved and more into her, also more mature. So that does typically make for a better relationship, I think. But the funny thing about this, and then I'm going to move on to the next part. The funny thing I thought about this was as they were talking, they also kind of brought up, or she brought up, that Noble, who's the extra in her marital relationship outside of the marriage, Noble doesn't believe in breaking up. And I made a note and I said, well, what the hell? All men would say something dumb like this just to keep getting laid. Like, they say, oh, I don't believe in breaking up, just so they can keep circling around the cookie jar.
Mm-hmm.
I just shake my head because I think it's so crazy that sometimes we as women allow men to just hang around us when we're really, the relationship is over. So just call it over and move on.
Yeah, right. I agree. I
Oh,
agree.
wait a minute. Something oh, Miss Iffy is also by the way, guys, Miss Iffy has a whole YouTube channel. Miss Iffy, you can drop your name of your YouTube channel in the chat if you want. And she says that Noble has other girlfriends. Oh
Ooh.
my.
Mm-hmm.
Noble. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and stay tuned. See, I knew you was in them bushes. I should have known, as freaky as you are on all our other chats. Let me see. With the shortage of available men in the world, do women really want brother husbands on a large scale? That means even more women will have to share. Oh, that's a very good
Mm.
question, Wes, at Stay Tuned Reviews. That's a very good question. Had you thought about that at all?
No, I hadn't thought about that.
That's interesting because oh yeah, that's like, right. I see what you're saying, because if the odds are that there are more women than
Mm.
men, and one or two women have like two and three and four men, that's really. But you know what? My thing is this: I think at the end of the day, the right woman and the right man eventually find each other. If that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
or
It,
they don't, or they don't, because I do think this day that our millennial children are growing up in, I do think that women are going to have to be very smart and recognize that they may never get married,
you
because
think so?
it's kind of going, yeah, think about it, it's going like that. And particularly black women, if black women in this country, like for example in America, if they only, the US, if they think that they can only just date black men and find a husband, in my opinion, just the averages and the statistics don't bear that out, that they will all have husbands. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to count out the guys that are incarcerated, the guys that are gay, the guys that are went over to the other races to
Mm-hmm.
marry and date, right?
Uh-huh.
And people just got to look at it realistically. So, what do you want?
Mm.
But that's a discussion for another day. But but just something to think about. But I love what Stay Tuned said. That's a very good point. I gotta come in. Yeah, you always do. Absolutely stirring the pot. Let me see what Miss Iffy. Uh did you know that Kenya and her first husband? Yeah, yeah. Mocha is a Kenya. She's done a lot of research. You want to
Mm-hmm.
address that, Mocha, real
No,
quick?
I did not see them on Dr. Phil.
Okay,
I
okay.
I did, or I may have seen it and forgot about it. But I just right now I
Oh,
just
okay.
can't recall it.
Okay, because I
But
thought you had told me about it, that they
did
were
I?
on
I
there.
may have. I have so many things that from when this show started, between this and other shows. But
Mhm.
I know they've been around. I know they have been around a while, and they have the courses that they have going on and everything. So it doesn't surprise me.
Mhm. Yeah, I think and I want to say this real quick and wrap up this note section.
Mhm.
I was just going to go back to Shara and Valentino. I thought it's interesting because he lives out of state, so they're saying that they're going to visit each other every 2 weeks. I was just trying to figure out, how does that work if she has his baby? How does that really work if you have as a man, you have a child, you're not even living in the same city or state with the person. They're living in a completely different state, and you can only get there every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
Kind of
know.
rhetorical. Not, yeah, just
Hmm.
kind of just a rhetorical. Um, Okay, so moving on. So we're in Nashville now. We move over to North Carolina where it's very woodsy and beautiful also. And Kim and Dustin are barbecuing for the family. So Kim's family, this is, remember now, Kim is the one who is brought up in a very conservative Christian family, right? So
Hmm.
her family has been invited to come down from Indiana, but when she goes to the door, she finds out that only her older brother Mike came to visit because the rest of the family, they don't want to be involved in this. And I would take it that since we saw pictures, her family portrait, and they had inked out, not inked out, but they had blurred the faces of the rest of her family besides her brother and herself. That's because they haven't signed the agreement. So they don't want to be filmed for this show.
Right.
All right. So, and then we move on over to in Los Angeles, Alyssa and her husband. I got these names mixed up. Did I say Kim and Dustin? Okay, so Alyssa and her husband Mike and their mom are still talking about why they're living this different lifestyle. So he goes for a walk with his mom, but his mother agrees that she will now respect his life choices because it's basically between him and his wife. And even though she didn't bring him up to live like this, we know when we have children, they grow up, they go off into the world, and they're going to do their own thing.
Yeah, and she loves she loves her son, so she'll accept it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she'll like, she wants to keep him in because what's your choice? If you go too far away from what your kids are saying, then you'll actually lose the relationship with your child. And
Right.
trust me, that really actually can happen. Even though when you give birth to them and you carry them around for 9 months and you get all the stretch marks and everything that comes along with it as a woman, you would not ever think that this little person would grow up to like, you know, be so independent, but they do,
Right.
you know. Okay, so we're getting closer to the end. Noble is upset. So we go back to Shara, and Shara is talking to Noble. And I didn't know, did you know that Noble was a comic book creator?
Yes. Remember, she called him a boy wonder
Oh
when
yeah,
she
that's
first talked
right.
about him.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yep. So they're sitting down and they're in looks like a comic book store and
Hmm.
having a glass of tea or whatever they're having, and he's back on this whole kick about he's doesn't want Shower to break up with him, um but she tells him that things aren't working out between the two of them. And I say, this is just my note. I said, sir, this is the end of the road. Goodbye and
Hmm.
good riddance. And thank you and have a nice day, right?
Hmm.
And Noble, he's getting all emotional, which I feel like maybe is a little bit manipulative. You think maybe he's playing on her emotions because as a woman,
Oh yeah.
we don't like to see people cry.
Oh yeah, he's playing it. And I want
Right.
Alexa play "End of the Road" by Boys to Men for him because it's done. It's over with. And I mean, I felt bad for her because she really didn't want to do it, but it's done. There's nothing there. It's just a friendship, and that's not what she wants.
Right, right.
So
And plus let's not even and, she may not want to tell him, I wish she could put me on speakerphone and I'd say, you know what, and you're selfish. You're
hmm.
selfish and you're immature. So why would you not be surprised that somebody would want to break up with you? You're not a good boyfriend. But the funny part, or not so funny, but the climactic part was when he Noble tells her he feels like he's getting swapped out, and she says, "Well, no, you shouldn't feel like that." And I don't think it's that. And he said, "No, it's exactly that." And then I said, "Well, yeah, but all good things must come to an end. So,
Hmm.
sayonara, sir. Goodbye." So and then we go over to um oh, wait a minute. Okay, so then that's basically all I have in my note cards. What do we end on? What did
Oh,
the show
we
end
ended on Kenya and Tiger go for a walk
Oh, yeah,
with,
yeah, yeah.
with
Go
the
go ahead.
dog,
I'm
I
gonna let you
believe.
give that. Go ahead.
Yep,
Give
they
give
go for
give
a
give them
walk.
that.
Um, and Tiger talks about his concerns. Well, he talks in his his uh his confessional about about
Mhm.
David and his place in the relationship, and him and Kenya are walking, and she tells him that the relationship had, and this is what got me really confused. She tells him that the relationship has changed and everything,
Hmm.
and about there being no passion. She actually tells him this. But
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
she tells him this, but then she's talking and she tells him how she loves him and everything. And then she gets down on her knee to propose that they have this commitment ceremony. And that's what
Right.
threw me off because I'm like, you're saying there's no passion, but then you propose the ceremony.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she's still because the whole thing of it is there's supposed to be an emotional love connection, and I think that what she had been saying now you're refreshing my memory. What she
Okay.
had been saying at the beginning of the this episode was that all relationships transition, right? So these relationships they go for so long, and at some point the hot and heavy time kind of wears down, or maybe you get tired of that person or the positions. I don't know, girl. You know, I ain't down with all of this. I'm just covering it. I just recapped the polyamorous show. I'm not living the polyamorous lifestyle because I think it's for the dogs and for the birds and for the cats and the tigers and the bears, but it's definitely not for me because, like the lady said, it's two men is too much work. Okay, but I think what I got out of it, and I had to kind of somewhat agree with her. With experiencing long term relationships, that your fire can go out. I don't think there's anything mean about saying the truth. If you speak the truth, people may not like it, but it's still true, right?
Yeah.
And maybe it could be you could say, or two, it's her perception versus his perception. But what she was
Hmm.
telling her first husband was that she wasn't getting enough hot and heavy time with this young guy, right?
Right.
So she's torn between that and I don't want to say this word, but some toys that she could use or go get her another man because it's just not happening with this guy anymore. But she still loves him. That's what I got out of it. So that's why she has now proposed to him. But what I didn't like, now this is just me personally,
Hmm.
I would not get down on no one knee for no man to propose. Now, if I'm getting down on my husband on my knee for my husband, it'd be something different going on. But okay, but I'm not proposing because to me that's a man's job, and I'm still under this old regime that you gonna ask me, sir. But I think I get his side of it though too because in this relationship she's the one that seems to be wielding the power.
Well, I think she got down on the knee because he had already asked her for the commitment. Remember before they had
Oh,
talked about it,
okay.
and she said no because remember she felt like his mother was rejecting her, and then Carl had
Right,
to let
right.
her know that it wasn't his mother rejecting you. That so I think that's why she did it to show him
Oh,
that now she's
okay.
ready.
Oh, okay. I see what
Yeah,
you're saying. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. You're right. I forgot about the mom that didn't want
yeah.
to accept this. Also, another mother there that doesn't want to accept this lifestyle. So there's a lot of that going on. So I mean, this is a still to this day, at this point in this country, this is an alternative lifestyle. It's not the tradition. It's not the same old. But yeah, but the episode, so the trailers for next week, because next week is the finale, guys. Is really interesting. There's a lot of things going on that episode as well. It looks like because Shower's going to go to a doctor, a specialist to see about because she's what? How old is Shower again? 30,
Oh,
42,
40,
42.
I want to say 42.
Yeah, 42. Like so she's over that maternal age of 35 where now you kind of start to get into higher risk and lower expectancy for even to get pregnant at all. So your fertility is dropping as a woman. So she's going to go see a specialist with her two men. And then we're going to see on next episode, we're actually going to see the wedding and who's performing the wedding. Carl is the,
Girl,
the the first husband is going to be performing the wedding with his wife and her other husband. So that's interesting. What do you guys think about
wait,
that?
explain that again, Aubrey.
Okay, Carl, the man that she has been that Kenya has been married to for 26 years, going on 30 years. That
Hmm.
has her. They have children, three children together. Carl is going to officiate the wedding. He's going to be the officiant. You didn't know
Mm.
that? You didn't see the
I
trailer then?
I saw the trailer, but I'm okay.
Yeah. Save it for next week. So yep, that's what it is. That he's performing, and you can do that in many states. It's just as simple as getting a license. I think there's a class you take, and there's a fee you pay,
Oh yeah,
and
I'm
as long as you're registered with the state to be a minister, to not be a minister, but to be an officiant, not a minister, not a pastor, but an officiant, then you have every right to perform a ceremony.
I'm I have to tell you, I'm
Yeah,
registered to do.
Miss Iffy said, "No way." Yeah, way, girl. You must have
Yes,
missed an episode. Didn't you see it? Yeah.
I'm registered to do wedding. I can do weddings anywhere in the United States.
No way.
Yes,
No way.
I got it from a online American.
Mm.
What's it?
You
American
you sure
something.
this is legal?
It is totally legal in all states. Yes, it is. I have
Mm-hmm.
I have like a number from them and everything, like a license
Oh,
number
yeah. Ellen
from
V
them.
said.
Yeah, Ellen
Ellen V is.
knows.
She's verifying it. Okay, so you
Yep.
verified, girl.
I
Okay.
can do weddings, I can do funerals, I can do baptisms, I can do any religious ceremonies. I just have to get a book from I can get a book, really you can get it from Amazon or a religious store or whatever. I could do it
Okay.
in different religions. Some, like I wouldn't do something like in Hindu or like in like in like in Jewish religions, things like that I wouldn't do, but I could do like a simple ceremony or something, because all you're doing is reading from the book, and then I would have to sign the license and bring the license to whatever town hall I would have to bring it to. I would check ahead of time what the town hall, what their requirements would be.
All right. All
But
right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get ready to slide on out of here. That's very interesting. We'll have to talk more about that next time. Here we're gonna hopefully be back. Let's try to be back on Monday. Get back on our regular day. For the last episode, right? Which is
Oh
Monday
yeah.
night, about 7:30 or so. We'll be back on that. And guys, we want to thank you for coming in, and hopefully you've hit the like button, you subscribe to the channel as we grow towards 2000. Yay, looking forward to that, and getting Mocha over her hump. Mocha, you are you at 50 yet, or we
I'm not
getting
at
there?
50. I'm not at 50 yet, but slow and steady wins the race. So
There you go. That's what I tell people on these YouTube streets, man. People think, they say, oh, so and so went on YouTube and went viral, got 100,000 subscribers overnight. I say, you know what? It's just like modeling and acting and anything else that I've ever done in my life. It's not overnight. Trust and believe that. Yeah, you got that one in a million story where somebody does do it. I've followed two or three people that has happened where they've gotten like tens of thousands of subscribers, like not overnight, but maybe in a year or two. But for the average person, or even above average, you're not doing that. I'm some of the people I started with, they still haven't even gotten their channels monetized yet. So
mhm.
it's a grind. It's a real grind. And guys, we thank you, because when you come over and drop these comments in the comment section when you can, some of you guys might be at work. If you're listening to this on the replay, like I listen to these shows sometimes during my work day, and but I always try to drop that like, because it really helps get in the algorithm. I always make sure that I'm subscribed to my favorite people. That's important. And then I go over and I'm members on several different channels. So if you want to become a member of my channel, it really does help out. But it's a work. It's a work. It's a love and it's a passion. But it still feels good, like anything else in life, to give feedback, positive feedback, reinforcement, whether it's a cash app, whether it's a membership, or whether it's something that you don't even have to pay for, like as simple as liking the video. That is so important, you guys.
Right.
Oh, and I'm gonna read this real quick. Mocha Roro is encouraging you and saying, Mocha, you'll get there before you know it, Mocha.
Thank you, Roro.
Oh, and Miss Iffy, who is also a content creator, wants to know what your channel is. Let me see. It's right here. Let me go back to that one. Hold on. I'll find it. I didn't highlight these when Ellen V dropped them in. Thank you, Ellen. I thought she dropped it in the chat earlier.
And my
Uh,
channel is, it's my name, Mocha Mima.
oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. I got it highlighted, but it was up so far. Oh, I'm sorry. Monique dropped it in. Thank you, Monique, too. Yep. Add some spices. Mocha Mima right there. Guys, we're gonna have to get some clickable links. We're gonna have to get that done too. So but yeah, but that's it. It's Mocha Mima, her name. I don't know why. Did I have to turn that on? I don't know why our names aren't showing up on the screen, right? Hmm. But we'll figure it out. We got somewhere we gotta be. I'm taking Mocha over to a club with me. We're gonna party tonight virtually. Oh, here it is. Okay. Thank you, Ellen. Oh, okay.
Thank you,
Oh,
Miss
okay.
Effie.
And Miss Iffy says she subscribed. Yep.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
guys. Oh, there you are in the chat. Yep. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys. We love you. We're gonna head on out of here, shimmy and shake. And we'll see you guys back here on Monday night to wrap this thing up with the finale, right?
Yep.
All right. Bye now.
All
Say
right. Bye
bye.
bye. Bye
Bye.
bye, guys.